Alright guys, it's Kieran from Red Devil Weekly. We are back live on the channel to talk about another game once again. They're coming thick and fast right now, and it is Istanbul versus Manchester United. I'm not even going to begin to try and pronounce that second part of their name because I'm just going to make myself look stupid. I'm leaving it. You know what? I'm cutting off the embarrassment at source. I'm not going to try. I'm not even going to attempt it. I do apologise to any fans out there of that team. It actually been less offensive for me to not even attempt to try and pronounce the second part of that name. It'd actually be better for you if I didn't. So that's what I'm doing. We're going to get into all the kind of ramifications of this game, how important this game is, and how we can look to bounce back from a really poor performance. Really, a poor performance against Arsenal, and how we look to bounce back from that in this game. And to be honest with you, the trend of Manchester United performances and results as of late, we'll probably win this game 4 or 5-0. I think the way we've been playing in the Champions League compared to the league is more than night and day. It's ridiculous the difference between the two levels of performance. And it seems like we're definitely a cup side. We're definitely set up to be a counter-attacking side who, in these big knockout competitions, will probably do alright this season. But in the league, where you have to pace yourself and you have to play well every single game, I think we'll struggle. I think we will struggle. But we're not talking about the league today. We're not talking about the league today. Thankfully, we're not talking about the league today. We're talking about the Champions League. We are talking about, I guess, some sort of league, but it's the Champions League. The league that Arsenal aren't in, and probably won't be in next season either. So that's the only, I mean, you can't tell I'm still salty. You can't tell I'm still salty after that loss, can you? And before we get into it, please do feel free to leave a like if you aren't already, and also subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. Thank you so much for all support on the recent videos. Really appreciate it. Welcome Footy Talk. Welcome Sean. Thanks for joining from Worldwide Red Show. Make sure you check out Worldwide Red Show if you haven't already. Really good stuff on there. And Kobe, thanks for joining as well. He says, never want to see McTominay in a United shirt again. I'd rather have Dazza at CDM. I tell you, he'd probably do a better job. I tell you that. But nothing, mate. But we'll talk about that obviously in the stream, and as usual, if any of you guys want to come on and have your say, then feel free to do so, and I'll let you have the link, and I'll put it in the live chat for you if you want to have your say. So please let me know if you want to come on, and I'll just stick the link in there. Say Sean wants me to say the name. I'm gonna try one time. I'm gonna try one time just for Sean. I'm gonna try one time. I think it's Istanbul Basaksehir. Istanbul Başakşehir. But Başak. Oh, you see, this is the thing. You see, now it's on video. It's on video. Me making a fool out of that. I mean, I've butchered that. I've absolutely butchered that. There's no two ways about that. But Başakşehir. Is it Başakşehir or something? Istanbul Başakşehir. As I say, if any of you in the chat are Turkish, I apologise. That's all I can do. I can only apologise. I can't undo what I've just said. I can't undo the monstrosity that just come out of my mouth. I've just got to apologise and move on. LSR Trading Style, thanks for joining us. You still nicking, Kieran? Oh, okay. No, I'm not. I've never nicked in my life. Don't say still. Don't say still nicking as if I've ever nicked in my life. Trust me, I'm an honest man. I'm a good man. I'm a peaceful man. I don't steal from other people. The only thing I do is steal the hearts of the people I love. Again, I'm sorry. Let's just get into the football before I say anything more embarrassing. Let's just get into it. And we're going to talk about, obviously, as we always do on these previews, about the opposition. And I want to talk mainly about what they've done in the Champions League, because that's what's relevant to us, what they've done in this group so far. They've got 2 losses in a row. Both Leipzig and PSG have both beaten those two, have beaten Istanbul, I should say. And what I heard and what I've seen from highlights and things like that, they actually put up a decent fight in both those games. They're not a bad team. Even though this is their debut season in the Champions League, they're not a bad side. They've got a few players that we would know from the Premier League, Demba Ba being one of them, one of those cult Premier League heroes. But ultimately, they're not the worst team. And going to Turkey, Manchester United haven't beaten a Turkish side in Turkey on the last 2 attempts. the last two being Fenerbahce and Galatasaray. Both times we haven't beaten those sides. So I don't think it's going to be easy. Obviously, having no fans will obviously play into our hands a little bit. But it's not going to be easy going away to Turkey, a place where we haven't won in the last two attempts, especially off the back of the Arsenal performance, excuse me. And they're not a bad side. They're not a bad side. And one of the main guys that are going to be coming back, obviously, the main talking point is Raphael, the guy who, was part of the double act with Fabio, his brother. The fullbacks for United, both of them, absolute heroes, I've got to say. Even though, in terms of ranking fullbacks in our history, they're not going to be up there with the very best. They were still very, very decent. They did a very good job when they were called upon by Sir Alex Ferguson mainly. But towards the latter end of their Manchester United career, David Moyes as well. I think they were there under David Moyes, and maybe even the first season Louis van Gaal. Who knows? I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong. But I know that obviously when they were brought in by Sir Alex Ferguson, they weren't the first choice, and they never were going to be the first choice, but they always did a very, very good job, and Raphael is the guy we're going to be coming up against tomorrow, and in some ways, I hope we beat them like 5-1, and he gets a goal. I hope it's kind of similar to when we played Fenerbahce at home that time, where we won the game comfortably, but we let Van Persie get a goal, we gave him a little standing ovation. We can't give the ovation this time, but it's always great to see. It'd always be great to see that, man. It'll always be great to see that. Read a few of your comments and see people having a as I said, some people reacting to what I'm saying. Listen, as I said, you can't take me serious. You can't take me serious. Apparently, but basaksehir. So I wasn't actually that far off. Okay, I actually surprised myself. I wasn't that far off. Maybe I should take up learning Turkish. LSR said a device that uses the internet would be handy, lad. I don't know what that means. Let me know what that means. He's not replying to me. Okay. Sean says, the ginger Casanova. I wish, mate. I wish. I tell you, mate. I wish. Iron Man, thanks for joining us. 37 past midnight and heavy rain with lightning. What else can I say? Easy game. But Ollie out. Already had the first mention of Ollie out. We're only 7 minutes in, yeah. I was wondering how long it would take. But yeah, no, fair play, Iron Man. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. Apparently it's 3-2 Madrid as well. Jeez, 3-2. Obviously, I know they're playing Inter Milan. I saw just before I went live that Perisic equalised for them. But yeah, 3-2. I mean, that. In some ways, I wish I was watching that game more than previewing. Of course not. I take that back. It's always better talking to you guys about Champions League. Always better. Because Man United are in the Champions League. Ginger Casanova, more like Ginger. What? What are you saying? I can't even. More like, Casanova. Oh, that's brilliant, mate. Did you made that one up yourself? Did you? Okay, right. Okay, yeah. Raphael, the main guy, coming back. I'm looking forward to. Well, I was about to say I'm looking forward to seeing him again. I mean, I'm not going to be meeting him. It's not like I'm going to be, giving him a handshake before the game. You know what I mean? So, but it'll be good to see him back on the pitch again because I haven't actually watched a game with him playing in it for a while. So, it'll be good to see him come back. And as I said, if he does end up getting a consolation goal, I'm not going to go against it. I'm not. Matthew, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. What is this? Matthew's been on the beers, hasn't he? I mean, look at that. I mean, people call me a Glazer puppet. No, I'm just joking with you, man. I'm just joking. Look, you can, as I said, on here, it doesn't matter what opinion you got. You can love the Glazers. If you want to love the Glazers, I don't really care. I mean, I'll disagree with you, and I think most people will disagree with you. But, mate, it's your opinion. You can believe anything you want, honestly. Big Ron, thanks for joining. Big Ron, really appreciate it, as always, my friend. And SR Premium Live says, what Kieran thinks when he wakes up. Oh, okay. I knew that was coming. As I said, I'm not a Glazer puppet, mate. I've never been paid by the club. I'm going to say that one more time. I'll say it one more time, and next time someone mentions it, I'm not even going to comment on it. I'm not even going to address it. You guys know my stance. You guys know. What device mate, any device, literally. I mean, any device which can use StreamYard, really. I mean, even like a phone probably would work. I mean, a laptop, if you've got it, probably would be better. But realistically, anything, to be honest, anything. So, as I say, I'll put the link in the chat a bit, soon once I get once I give my kind of predicted lineup and score prediction and that. Then I'll get you guys in because at the end of the day, I mean, as you guys know, you can only love me so much. You can only love listening to my voice so much, like anyone really. I'm not the kind of person you can listen ramble on with for hours and hours on end. You know what I mean? I'm best taken in small doses. So I like to get other people on to ask them what they're feeling. Sean says Glazers aren't going anywhere. I agree with that. Certainly agree with that. He says I think they are bad owners, but if we would appoint a proper director of football, we could still win. I remember Tom on the review of the Arsenal game made that exact point. We need a director of football, and there's always rumours of one coming in, and it's always a PR stunt from the club suggesting that they're trying to make things, trying to like change things and kind of appease the fans, but it never happens. And the fact that they don't think that we don't know that is pretty naive, to be honest. Like, we know what they're doing when they leak these rumours of director of football, Edwin van der Sar, all these stuff. Like, we know what's happening with that. We know. Arfi, thanks for joining. Arfi Mohammed, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it, mate. Really do appreciate it. If you are new around here, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'm sure he's old enough for an iPad, mate. I'm sure he is old enough for an iPad. But anyway, yeah. Well, listen, we'll get on with it. And obviously, I've talked really mainly about Istanbul. I don't have much to say about Istanbul. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't really done too much research into Istanbul. I mean, yes, as you can tell, I take my job here very, very seriously. I haven't done much research into what they've done in the past, or what they've done. I don't really know. In the end of the day, all I know is that Raphael plays for them, and they've lost their first 2 games in the group. We play them back to back, and the interesting thing about that is that if we win these 2 games, which realistically we're expected to win, we will be through to the round of 16 of the Champions League, just like that. In the group of death, a group that a lot of people didn't expect us to get out of. So a win tomorrow is massive, because it just means that one more point realistically, and we qualify for the next round, and that is massive, especially when our last 2 games are against Leipzig and PSG, 2 very, very difficult games, which I wouldn't want to be relying on getting points out of those games. So we win our next 2 games, we can seal qualification to the next round, and then we can start experimenting in those last few games and resting a few players, which I think will be really key, especially for the fact that we didn't really have a pre-season, and there's been a really, really busy schedule up until now. My mouth is really dry. I'll just take a drink. Oh, God. Yeah, sorry, my mouth was really dry. Really, really dry. But they say a dry mouth represents a man with wisdom. That's what they say. I made that up, but it fits well. Iron Man says, we all know Pogba's best position is the bench. That is shots fired, my friend. Shots fired. Says, may be his home. 14 years of hard working. Well, listen, and we'll get on to Pogba. We may as well get on to Pogba now. We may as well get on to Pogba now. That was my headphones going off because I don't know why they've gone off. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos, mate. I can't say anything else. But yeah. Let's get on to Pogba's situation and what Solskjaer might do and might change. I think he will make changes. Obviously, Anthony Martial's coming back into the side. And one of my things I've kind of realised with the poor performances in the league recently is it has coincided with the fact that Martial's been suspended. So maybe there's a correlation there. Maybe there is something there which, Martial might be making us better. Martial might be the guy that's making us better, because every time Martial has started a game this season, probably apart from the Spurs game where he got sent off, every time he started a game or played most of a game, we've won. Especially after the Spurs game. Before the Spurs game doesn't really count because we were terrible before the Spurs game, but after the Spurs game, every game that he started, I think we've won the game and we've been very, very good. The Leipzig game, the PSG game, those 2, Martial may be the guy. Martial may be the reason why we can't break down teams. Let me know what you think about that. But obviously, that's a bit of a tangent. I'm not really sure how we got onto Martial. But take a drink, mate. It's not like we're waiting for you, lad. Yeah, mate. Listen, it's my show. I can take a drink whenever I want. Anyway. Let's talk about the midfield. I want to ask you guys, what midfield do you think they're going to play? What midfield do you think they're going to play? What do you think Solskjaer's going to pick? For me, he's got to play Donny van der Beek. He's got to play Donny van der Beek. And I think if he plays Van der Beek, we will see Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes against Arsenal didn't have the best of games. He didn't have the best of games against Arsenal, you can't lie. He wasn't as effective as we would have wanted him to be. And I think Pogba just needs to be out of the limelight right now. I think the last thing Pogba needs right now is to be thrusted straight into the starting lineup again. Some people would say he needs it for his form. Maybe the reason is because he's still recovering from COVID. He's not up to fitness yet. And maybe there is some truth in that. But at the same time, when you just put in a performance like that, everyone's on your back. All the social media talk. I know Harry Maguire said in the press conference they don't even look at that. I'm sure Pogba does. And all the talk and sort of social media, I feel like he needs to be taken out of the team for a bit. And as Iron Man said there, maybe the bench is the best thing. Dazza, thanks for joining, and Tom, thanks for joining as well, guys. Really appreciate it. I will put the link in the chat very, very shortly. In fact, you know what? I'll do it now. You know what? Why not? There's no time like the present. There is absolutely no time like the present. So I'll put the link in, and we can get some guests on, because that's the best thing about this show, the guests talking to you guys. So anyone who wants to join, feel free to do so. Please do feel free to do so. Daz has joined us. Thanks for joining. Red Manx TV. Make sure you do check out Red Manx TV. Great stuff on there. He says, imagine we get relegated and win the Champions League. Madness. Imagine that. Imagine going to Scunthorpe on a Tuesday, on a Thursday night, and then the next week going playing like Bayern Munich. I mean, imagine having 2 games in the same week. One week where you go to Barnsley, and next week you go to the Allianz. Madness, absolute madness. Matthew said, it's not about talent, is it? It's about what he actually does on the pitch. True. I think that's the thing with Pogba, is that we all know he's got superb talent. We all know he can be a quality player for us. There's no doubt about that. But he's been here for ages now. Like, he has been here for years and years. You know, he's been here for like four or 5 seasons now. Probably coming up on that at least. Probably more 4 seasons actually. But still, you know, he's been here for a substantial amount of time. We paid a very big sum of money for him. And realistically, he's not performing on a regular, consistent basis. And as I said around here, consistency is the main buzzword. And we've got a guest. On. I'm going to put these headphones on. I'm going to get them involved, and we'll get it up and running. We'll get it up and running as we usually do. Right, here we go. Kobe says Martial wins most of our penalties. Good point. He usually does. But I'll put these headphones on because we've got some guests on. It's always good to have the boys on the show. We've got Daryl joining us. We've got Footy Talk joining us, and we've got Tom joining us as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining the stream. I'm sure we'll be joined by others as well throughout the course of the stream. Although I don't know how much longer. How much longer it's going to be, we'll see. But thanks for joining. We'll start with Dazza, because obviously you joined first, Daz. Going into this game, off the back of the Arsenal game, there's no doubt we need a big response going into this one, and I'm sure Ollie will be looking for that. Do you think that, you know, Ollie will look to make a lot of changes, or do you think he'll actually, you know, look to keep the team similar so that they can regain some confidence from their poor performance against Arsenal?
First of all, I know this is a United stream. I've got a bow top on, but I've just literally ended my bow stream, so that's why. Sorry about that.
No worries.
But what a cack game as well. It was awful. I think really that this is the sort of game where Ollie can bring in some of the players who don't often get started, a bit like the last game. Obviously, I don't want him to play the team they played against last, obviously, because if we do that, we'll probably get tortured. But I think he'll play a few of the first team players and then play a few of the reserves. I think that the likes of the big players that we've got, likes of Rashford, Martial, Bruno, and all them. I think he'll probably rest them for the game on Saturday. Realistically, because Everton's a big game. But I mean, regardless of which team he plays, it's going to be a tough game. Get in. Going to be a tough game. I think both teams are going to have a good. I'm watching the Champions League at the same time, 6-2.
Bloody hell!
But yeah, it's 6-2 as well. Jesus Christ!
I think really Istanbul are a very good side. They won the league for a reason. They were the top team in. I nearly said Istanbul. Top team in Turkey. I mean, they're the only team in Istanbul.
He's been at the Young Brew again.
I've still got some.
That's true. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. That's a foul, aren't they? But no, I think it'll be a tough game. I think United will go up there looking for, I'd say, at least a point away from home in Turkey. If there's a crowd there, they've got an incredible support, and they have brilliant atmosphere. For me,
I think you'll get tortured.
If we play like we did against Arsenal, he might not be wrong. He might not be wrong.
No, we can't play like we did against Arsenal. We were shocking against them, and I think Ollie will want a better performance. But
yeah,
I can see him resting a few of the big players for the Everton game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the Everton game. You do make a good point. Actually, I didn't really think about the Everton game, but it does have a lot riding on it, especially after our poor performance against Arsenal. The fact we're 15th in the league. We'll go to you, Footy Talk. Obviously, Darryl there says he probably will make some changes and keep it fresh going into that Everton game because of the importance of it. Would you agree with that? Do you think that Solskjaer is going to look to keep some players back for that Everton game, or do you think he's going to look to try and finish the group, kind of cement our place as the top team in this group, or do you think he'll back the team enough so that he knows even if we don't win this game, we can still get at least the 3 or 4 points that we need to fully guarantee our qualification?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What I think is that what we shouldn't do is just play big players like Fernandes, Pogba, Greenwood, Rashford, because we have Everton at the weekend and it is going to be a big game. Now, I think he will make changes, and this change might surprise you, but I think this is a game that Dean Henderson will start.
Might not be a bad shout. He was talking about it in his press conference, actually. He was asked whether Dean Henderson might start, and I mean, as Solskjaer usually does, he gives a bit of a vague answer.
It'd be nice to see him start.
And now I'm not sure if he travelled to Istanbul, but
I'll have to check that.
I'm not sure.
Who are we on about?
The Tellez travel. Does anyone know if Tellez travelled to?
No, he didn't. No.
Okay. Well,
he's still positively tested. He needs to come back with a negative test.
Well, I'm going to have to change the thumbnel then, because Tellez is the guy I put on the thumbnail.
Normally you have to come back 14 days.
That is beautiful. I mean, what? I mean, you can tell I've really done my research for this, can you? You can really tell. I've delved deep into this. But sorry, go on. Sorry, I cut you off.
One player that I think should start, and I think should pretty much be a first team starter, is Tuanzebe. He played VPSG where he pretty much made Mbappe look like Jesse Lingard. And
yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
But
I mean,
I also get why Ollie's sort of not playing him, because we have to think that this is his first game after being out quite long with an injury, and if we just put all our faith in him, it's sort of like what Eric Bailly happened. Like, we know on his day Eric Bailly can be a brilliant centre back. The only problem is that he only plays 2 games a season.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's the thing. I think for me, looking at the situation, you're right. Like with Zabi, is that he put in a really good performance against PSG. Like no one's doubting that, but obviously that was his first game since what was it like? I can't remember the game. People said it was the last game he played. Was it like Rochdale? Was it, or it was like his first game since then?
It were
So-
Arsenal. It were Arsenal the following
Can I
year at
just
Old
say
Trafford.
something?
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah.
I might not be able to hang out long because I'm waiting for Red Devil Studio to also stream. So
No worries, man. Obviously, no worries. Honestly,
Hello.
if you have to leave, don't worry about it, mate. Trust me.
actually,
Where's
so
the
do you
big
know
L?
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, in my opinion, I think he's better than Trent.
That's a big
Um,
call.
but-
I wouldn't want to say that too loudly, but that is a big call. I mean, you're safe saying it here. You're safe saying it here, but
Liverpool fans can talk all they want. But when you look at who do we really have now, you can say Williams, but to be fair, I don't really trust Williams. And there's one player from the academy, I don't know if you've heard of him, Ethan Laird or Lard, whatever he's
yeah.
called. I think there was talk of us going for some Ecuadorian right back in the summer. I think we should give Laird a chance.
Why not? Why not? I mean, I've seen a little bit of him in the academy, but why not? Why not?
We all know what happened with the Sancho saga. Dortmund, stingy idiots.
Don't remind me. Don't remind us.
Talking about the director of football, now we all know we hate Woodward and the Glazers. I don't think there's any Man U fan that loves Woodward and the Glazers. Now, what I will say, Woodward's very good business. About football, he's terrible. And the person that I think we should bring in, I don't know if he will come, but Van der Sar, I think now's the time.
I mean, to be fair, even when he's not. Yeah, I was just going to say on your point, like, even when he's not our director of football, he's already given us players. He's not even working for us and he's given us players already. So he's basically already got the job.
Yeah,
He's already got the job. Yeah, go on. You can give your predicted 11. Now I'm going to ask Tom, and I'll also I brought in Sean and Owen as well. So we'll get their thoughts as well. We've got a bit of a bumper stream for guests.
No big L.
But yeah, give us your predicted
All
11.
right.
Oh, he's already here already. Honestly.
I was looking at the Man U website when I got home from school about the squad that travelled to Istanbul, and one thing I noticed is that Lee Grant travelled, but Romero didn't.
the phantom player Lee Grant.
Lee Grant
Probably saving them
my
for
house.
Everton.
I mean, like, I mean, I don't know what. I mean,
Well, it'd
fair
be
play to him.
saving
He's
for Everton.
I mean, fair play to Lee Grant. He secured the bag. He's not playing. I mean, he gets to watch Ollie's tricky res from the best vantage point. He's getting paid how many thousand a week?
It's like a 50 grand a week more carry, isn't he?
Oh, God.
I'm going to go with my predicted line.
Yeah, go on.
So I have Henderson in goal. I feel like rest De Gea, even though we're glad De Gea ain't playing, I kind of feel bad for Henderson, man. Woodward, like, just signed his contract in it, you're going to get game time. Now De Gea decides to play like De Gea again.
Yeah, I agree, Perth. I agree,
Which is
Matt.
good, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, you would do, Owen.
Right
You would do.
Wan-Bissaka. I mean, really, who else is Ole going to play?
Yeah, true.
Left back, it'll have to be Shaw, unfortunately. The centre back pairing. Listen, I don't want Maguire to start. I don't hate Maguire. It's just that I feel worried every time Maguire touches the ball. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, God.
Axel's got to start because I feel like Axel should have started the Arsenal because we know how fast Aubameyang is. And I feel like Twanzebe would have just pocketed Aubameyang.
I would say to that though that actually
Midfield.
Aubameyang in the actual game didn't cause us that many problems. Really, I mean he took the
He was
penalty. To be
awful.
I
fair,
was going to say, what do you mean he scored a penalty?
that's all I'd say. But you know,
Do you know how people say we have lots of depth in the midfield? We have 6 midfielders: Bruno, Pogba, Van der Beek,
Oh, God.
Matic.
McTominay. What I have
Yeah.
noticed is that really we only have one CD, and that's why I'm kind of annoyed we didn't go for Partey.
especially off that game.
Now there have been talk of Declan Rice. I don't want Declan. I can just have a Smarty 50p.
I don't know where that's from.
To be fair, yeah.
I feel like a player that we should go for. We just have to hope that Dortmund aren't stingy again. But he is a bit old, but I think Witzel would be a good signing.
I don't know.
I feel like I mean, listen. Obviously, Daz obviously watching the Bundesliga. He'll be able to tell you a lot about Axel Witsel, but I don't know. I think we've got too many midfielders right now.
Yeah,
I think
we don't need
although-
midfielders.
Although if we sell Pogba, we should get enough money to buy someone like that. You know,
Wait,
someone
why
like.
are we selling Pogba though?
Listen, that's a
Oh
whole
my
different
God,
debate.
what do-
Listen,
oh,
just wait your turn. Wait your turn. Wait your
Until I
turn.
talk, I'm in and I'll tell you. Wait till I talk and I'll tell you.
I was
Footy
just
talk,
thinking,
who-
one bad game, he's out the door. I'm just interested, yeah?
Right,
Well,
just
we'll
wait your
see,
turn.
won't
We'll
we?
get onto that. Footy talk. Who are you playing up front?
What did you say, sorry?
Who are you playing up front?
Who am I playing up front?
Yeah.
I think bench Rashford. Rashford's done too much already. I don't think we need to play him in this sort of game. It's kind of hard when you think about it, because we have Dan James, who is just the less said about him, the better.
As I said, I won't have Dan James slander on this channel. He's my boy. Leave him alone.
He's right.
You
And he
know
got-
what?
As long as he
I
ain't
think
taking
James
after his
does
mentor,
have the
slapping people. Allegedly. I'm sorry.
Had to get allegedly in there. I like that. Just for the law. Just in case, you know, a lawyer's watching, they're going to get you.
That's America. We say what we want.
Yeah, he did it anyway.
Sorry, footy talk. Carry on.
Look how red Kevin is. Look like you've been
I think
sunburned.
I'm pretty much annoying everyone.
No, you're not annoying
Gary.
me. No, mate.
You look sunburned.
I'm sorry, mate. It's hot in here. That's all I can say. I'll open the window. Sorry, no, carry on, please. I'm sorry about.
Probably Greenwood will start and Martial. But the thing is,
Right.
we need more depth because, yeah, James and Matter. James, you can bring him on for pace. Matter, he still does have some creativity. But I feel like they're both just not really impact subs. We obviously have that kid from Atlanta coming in January, Diallo or something. Now I've not watched too much Atlanta youth football, so I don't know how good he is.
Apparently, he's better than Jaden Sancho if you listen to football Twitter.
Well,
Mate, I'm saying he's the next big thing. You have to trust people who've got football players as their AVIs. You've got to trust them.
Yeah,
You know, they
yeah.
speak. They
Definitely,
speak the truth.
definitely 40 million better spent on him than Thomas Partey. That's for sure.
100%. The Glazers know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. You know, Palestri. Where's Palestri? Where's he?
He's still looking for that job, mate.
No,
Off
listen.
the
All I'm
Glazers.
gonna say-
Hey, I will drive south and put in a good word for you, Kieran.
I appreciate that. But to be fair, I just to reply to what you're saying, Mason Greenwood and Martial, he might go with that because Rashford has played a lot of minutes recently. Although Rashford is in very, very good form, I would say that. But I'm just going to move on because I'm conscious of time. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be live. I want to get everyone's view, but thank you very much for letting us know your view. And as I say, if you need to drop out at any point, because I'm not sure when Red Devil Studios going live. Honestly, don't worry about it, mate. I'm not sure if I'm not sure when he's going live or anything like that.
I think he's already gone live.
Oh, fair. Well, as I said, if you want, if as you said, if you want to, watch that, honestly, don't feel bad about it. Trust me. It's as you can tell, it's a ragtag group of misfits we've cobbled together on this channel right now.
Speak for yourself, mate.
Except for sure, no. But as I say, if you want to drop out, whatever, don't feel bad about it. Thanks for joining. Thanks for making your debut on the channel, mate. Appreciate it. But we're going to move on to Tom. And Tom, as you know, obviously you've heard what Footy Talk there, Daz had to say. Going into the game, obviously, off the back of that Arsenal performance, it's difficult to feel confident. But off the back of our last few Champions League performances, are you feeling confident going into this one?
No. When you get to Owen, Owen's probably going to be shitting himself over Demba Ba, to be honest with you. That's probably going to be Owen's point. But
I was already in the chat with that earlier, Tom.
I'm confident with this, to be honest with you. We're playing against some, Turkish storeholders. That's all I'm going to say. They can't defend at all. They can't defend. I don't care what anybody says. If we don't beat this team, P45's already on the table, mate. Honestly, if we don't beat this team, I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna laugh because it's going to be absolutely hilarious how players such as Mata, how players such as Martial are going to get absolutely done by Turkish frauds. It's as simple as that. I just don't understand. They're going to get done by people who just sell fake stuff in shops. That's it. They're going to get done by people like that.
Whoa!
That's going to be.
I can't believe.
I think there's going to be a rotation in the squad. Absolutely.
So, can I stop you there? I cannot believe the stereotypes you're lifting off there. You're just I can't. I'm just gonna carry on. I can't. I'm speechless.
Tom is on the Trump train tonight.
I was going to say.
It's just going to be hilarious if we lose tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be as if we've lost to a load of clowns in a circus. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be funny.
To be honest, I can't wait for this to be clipped up with Kirby Enthusiasm music behind it.
So Tom, I'm guessing you don't agree with Daz when he says Istanbul are a very good team. Then I'm guessing you disagree with him.
No. Yeah, they're a very good team. They're a very good team in terms of Turkish level. Them and Besiktas. This is the Champions League. This is the elite of the elite. If we can beat PSG and Leipzig and we can't beat Istanbul, come on, he's got to have the P45's got to be already sent out to his house. Seriously, if you can beat them two teams, but you can't beat Istanbul, then somebody's wrong with you. It doesn't matter what players you play tomorrow. You should win that game. You're beating teams like Brighton, playing players like Mata and stuff. You can beat Istanbul. Yeah, I know one player from Istanbul. I know two players from Istanbul. Sorry, Rafael and what's his name? I just forgot his name. Demba Ba. That's it. They're the only two players I know for Istanbul, and they won the Turkish league. That's it. Yeah, I don't know any more players, so that's all I'm going to say. But no, I think the squad needs rotating. First of all, before Owen gets his little jibing about Pogba, Pogba's got to be dropped. Simple as that. Play Van der Beek tomorrow and Mata over Fernandes and Pogba. I don't even play Pogba at the weekend against Everton, to be honest with you. I wouldn't play him at the weekend against Everton. He's on the bench for the next two games. That's all I'll say there. It's not just because of the penalty. It's absolutely ridiculous for some of the things that he's been saying at the moment. Talk about Real Madrid and everything. It's ridiculous. I don't see him sitting next to Ole at any press conference. He's had the chance to do it in the Europa League and in the Champions League since Ole's been here, and he's never done it. He's never wanted to sit next to Ole. He's had every player there. He's had players who've only just joined the club next to him, such as Fernandes. He's had these players players next to him, but he's not had players like Pogba there, who's the main talk at Man United. Well, why isn't he in the limelight then? Because this is what I mean. You can see what happens on the field, but you can't see what happens behind the scenes. And I think that's the main problem with this club. Too much negativity happens behind the scenes. That's the problem, because they don't get deals over the line. They don't improve the team. They don't appoint the right people in the right positions, or they don't appoint anybody, such as like a technical director. And then you get into the tailspin and in the rut that you already are in. So, like I say, lose to, tomorrow. If Man United lose tomorrow, it's on Ole. It's not. I don't want to hear, it's the board's fault or everybody. I don't want to hear it, man, because we're going to play, our shittest team tomorrow, and we're going to expect it,
Then Pogba should play, right?
Well, yeah,
True.
chuck him in there. Chuck him in there. Yeah, he'll score a hat.
Don't do it to me, Sean. Don't do it to me.
Pogba's back. No, but
Pogba's my favorite player, but it'll be my chance in a minute.
We'll get.
Yeah, I like Pogba as a player, but like you said earlier in the show, there's the tag behind Pogba's name of talent. I'm sick of hearing it. He's 27 years old, for crying out loud. You don't need to be. Talent is such as Greenwood, is such as Phil Foden. That's young players. He's not a young player anymore. He's been in the game nearly 12 years now, from 16 years old. Come on. You need to start, consistency, quality, week in, week out. And we don't see it enough. Put a France shirt on him or put a Juventus shirt on him. He'd be running the show. But I don't know. It's as if the Man United shirt's just cursed with players. Because it happened with Sancho. It's happening partly with Pogba. Apart from glimpses where he's shown, promising parts and, in a way, talent. This was 3 or 4 years. He's been at the club now. He's won trophies here. He's properly. Like I say, the problem with it is he either signs a contract or he goes. That's it. If you don't want to, it's been talked about for ages now about an extension and everything, and it's quite clear if the player's not signed, if it keeps delaying an extension, it's quite clear the player's not happy about it or he's not happy about the offer. There have been offers on the table, but he doesn't want to accept them. This is the problem. But then he's talking in the summer. He talks about, Real Madrid's my dream club, this, that, the other. How disrespectful is that to such as us as fans? And we support the club, we support the manager, we support the players. How can you support that when somebody doesn't want to even be here? It's absolutely, like I say, it's ridiculous with the off-the-field antics. But onto Istanbul, I think just put the shittest team out there and just win, to be honest with you. That's all I care. I don't care, just if it's a 1-0 scruffy goal, and if it's a Henderson screamer from the blooming, goalkeeper's area, or Ollie comes on and scores a last-minute winner, just get the points on the board and then beat them in the next leg and get through the group. That's all I care about, to be honest.
Well, I think that's fair enough. Obviously, it's just I just can't really say like you said. Just put out our weakest team. Just put out our weakest team.
Just play the weakest team. We should beat this team with any.
We should.
We should beat these with the youth team.
We play the weakest team. We'll get beat.
Oh yeah. This is what people will be wanting. They want to play the crappiest team, so then we'll get beat, and then we'll be laughed all over Twitter.
We're already a laughing stock, mate.
Exactly.
Don't need to lose to Istanbul to be a laughing stock, mate. We already are. Don't worry about that.
Not one at home. Not one at home in the Premier League.
But we'll move on to Sean.
Imagine bloody Brandon Williams up against Visca.
I don't even know who Visca is, to be honest. I'm going to search him up in a minute.
Visca is a Bosnia-Herzegovinian right back who plays for Basaksehir.
Where does Raphael play then?
He's a good.
I think Raphael plays fullback, doesn't he?
I don't think he even plays for them now. I know Martin Skirtle, plays for them. Demba Ba.
We'll be fine then. We'll be fine.
They've got a load of Premier. They've got Liverpool rejects at the back now.
We'll be fine.
He'll turn into prime Maldini tomorrow.
Still got a good team.
Listen, as I said, I agree. If we lose to Istanbul, it doesn't matter whether it's away from home. We should be beating them. But I just think that every time we seem to get really confident about beating a team, we end up messing it up. a lot of people were confident before the Arsenal game. We ended up messing that up. Everyone was confident before the Chelsea game. We messed up. The only reason I don't think we're going to mess it up is because our form in the Champions League has been so good. Yeah, and we're away from home. We've won 10 straight games, all competitions away from home. So for me, that could be the...
Yeah, get blown up tomorrow and we'll go and lose.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not.
What about the fact that it's on before dinner?
What's that got to do with anything? Seriously, what has that got to do with anything?
What an ethnocentric view.
Like 2-3 hours ahead of us.
No,
it's 2-3 hours difference for that.
For the United players, they're used to being in England, sitting down for their sausages at 6 o'clock. Yeah, they'll be kicking off.
Well, what's the difference? We were playing in Kazakhstan last year. It was a whole different day, pretty much.
Yeah, but do you see the team we played there? We played the average age was about 12 in that team.
Yeah,
Jesse Lingard was captain that day.
Right. Name a what was the tip? Name an Astana player. Go on, man. Name an Astana player.
Okay, yeah, I will. Asmu.
Who the hell is Asmu?
Oh no,
Right. Sounds like a moose brand.
I bet you Ed Woodward could get a sales deal for that.
Yeah. You know what? We're gonna move on to Sean because he's been very, very patient. I think actually I'm right in saying this is the first time you've actually been on the channel as well. So you're making your debut. I'm excited. I'm excited, man, to hear what you got to say. I've done a few streams in before, and as I said, make sure you check out Worldwide Red Show if you haven't already. But Sean, mate, obviously you've heard from the range of opinions on the channel so far on going into this game. What are your thoughts? Are you confident? And in terms of the team as well, you mentioned you're gonna have some words about Paul Pogba. How do you think Solskjaer is going to go about setting out the team?
Okay, first off, thanks for allowing me to be on this amazing platform with legends like yourself and Owen and
thank you very much.
And Tom, who I've done streams with before, and he pretty much lives rent free in my head. So if I come on and say anything that sounds like a parrot, it's just the inner. I am basically Tom's inner American Yankee voice. So
my American counterpart. Let's go.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I really want to say that I'm still bitter about Sunday. I can't get over it. One, because I hate losing to Arsenal, and I know I said to Tom, we did actually a preview show together about Arsenal, and my fear was that any team that sits back at all, we can't seem to break them down. And exactly, actually, Tom called it. He said that if Arsenal won, it would be lucky 1-0, and that's exactly what happened. You know, they got a lucky penalty because Pogba, who, listen, we'll talk Pogba. Pogba's my favorite player, but I am smart enough to understand when someone's being a knucklehead, they should be dropped. So I'm about Manchester United. Like this is Manchester United FC, not Pogba FC, all that kind of stuff, right? And also, Kieran, sorry about my background. I was watching the game. You came on. I went live, threw my phone up, and just said whatever. I'm not even in the studio.
No worries, man. No worries.
But anyway, my wife came down. I was like, "What are you doing on a stream? Go to the studio." I'm like, "Man." Yeah. But anyway, Pogba's obviously in a lot of ways checked out. I think what's frustrating for us is that we see the talent, we know what he can do. When he's checked in, all the way committed, all in, he's arguably the best midfield player in the world. I mean, he can do everything. Big, strong, fast, carry the ball, 70-yard passes. Like, it doesn't even make sense what the guy can do. But he reminds me of David De Gea. He can drift out of games where it's a mental thing or almost like a commitment thing. And so Tom said something, again, I don't want to parrot it, but he made a comment. He said, "You don't see that crap in a France shirt because you don't." Pogba doesn't make the tackle he made Sunday, the tackle he made against Spurs. He doesn't do that for France. And I think that there is a little bit of a lack of disrespect. Now, I will say, I think that Pogba does love Manchester United, but I think that there were promises given to him, the same that's been given to us as fans, that quite frankly, Ed won't keep. The only promise that Ed's going to keep is to his next sunblock sponsor that he's going to sign for the amazing sunny days in Mancunia, where we really need that, to keep the gloss off of our skin. So the thing is, Pogba is an enigma. I'll say this. I would play him tomorrow just because I think he should be dropped for the league. And I would drop him in because tomorrow, let's face it, like Tom is saying, anyone should be able to step out tomorrow and beat Istanbul, basaksehir, or however we say it. Aaron got that right.
Basaksehir.
Yeah, that's close enough. Anyway, the thing is, Pogba's an enigma, but here's the thing: he's my favorite player, but I would sell him tomorrow. Seriously, because if we could get money for him, the only reason I wouldn't sell him is mostly the main reason is because we won't reinvest that; we'll just pocket it. So if we were going to, Pogba needs a team built around him. He really does, and I think that he was probably given promises of what would happen, and it just hasn't. I mean, you got to figure for the first year and a half or so, Pogba being there, he's flipping the ball up to Sideshow Bob. I mean, it's and we got Ander Herrera, who, let's face it, he's not like a world-class midfielder, but half the time he was being put on the bench, and we can all see because of political reasons. It's just our club is a mess. We need a proper director of football because we'll never consistently win anything of significance without that, because Ed has no idea how to run a football club, and the Glazers aren't selling. I don't care how many hashtags we do. I don't care about marches. Why would they sell? They don't even care about the club. They care about making money. It's a business, and it makes them money. They're sitting down in Tampa, drinking on their little Mai Tai or whatever, just waving at their cash cow, ready to take out another 45 million pound loan against our club. They're not selling anytime soon.
Bit like the government.
Anyway, right now they're working trying to keep their buddy in office. So that's all I know is going on. But at the end of the day, guys, I think that this game tomorrow, I'm with Tom. I'm at the point now where there's no more tears. I'm not crying anymore. It's like you that guy that's in love with this girl, and he's been with her a long time, and she constantly knows she's a cheat, she's doing this, or this or that's happening. But I love you, baby. I love you. I'm sorry. Listen, I've been here and I'm sorry for 10 years. I don't buy it anymore. So at this point, I'm past crying. This team has broken me. This manager who, listen, I'm Ollie indifferent for y'all that don't know, which means Ollie out gets my blood boiling. Ollie in, I can see the problem. So I'm just like Ollie, whatever. But he sold me a lie, and I was at the wheel, driving the bus and everything, and we went from 4-3-3 attacking football to Ollie, you got the job. Okay, let's park the bus and not break teams down again. I'm just frustrated. So tomorrow we're going to win 8-0. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea what it's going to be tomorrow, but if we lose, then it's going to be hell to pay for this manager. And at the end of the day, guys, I feel like, our fan base, it seems online especially, is so toxic. It's like you're either all the way one way or all the way another way. It kind of reminds me of my country at the moment, where the truth is kind of in the middle. So at the end of the day, I'm just thinking that with Ole, this Sunday, Tom will tell you, I said it, this past Sunday was the day that I was ready to go all the way in. Like, we've turned the corner. We've got this. Yeah. We're breaking good teams down. And I just feel like a lot of these players, some are playing for him, but key ones aren't. And I don't believe there's a respect there. I feel like the board and now some of the players are starting to hang the manager out to dry. So what I'm saying to myself is, can we win the Premier League with this manager? And if the answer is no, then we need to be moving on quick. That's just the way I feel, because we need a better manager and coach because we're not getting better owners, and Ed's going nowhere. So at the end of the day, I think we'll probably go back to a 4-2-3-1 tomorrow, because that's kind of Ollie's default position. And I think that the back line, I agree with what the guy said earlier. The young man made some interesting points. But I do believe that Dean Henderson will probably get a game. I think he should, by the way. Well, first off, I didn't think if we weren't replacing De Gea with him, I wouldn't have brought him back personally. I'd have kept him alone, because I feel like he's sacrificing, because he's shown he can be on the level with De Gea. But now De Gea's playing well again. Now he's stuck. So at the end of the day, I feel like that Dean
I would
will
have
get a
sent him out on
game.
loan abroad, so he's not
You got
competing with you.
Twanzebe. Twanzebe should play. Willie, he should have played against Arsenal. And then Victor should play because he's better in European games, but he won't. It'll be Harry Maguire. On the right, it should be Ethan Laird, so we don't, or Brandon, so we don't burn out AWB. But will we? Nope. He'll be done by February. So AWB will play, and on the left it will be Luke Shaw because Tellus is still got the Rona. And then you have
What about William?
midfield. Please, Lord, help me, baby Jesus, 6 pounds, 8 ounce Jesus, that we don't see Scott McTominay as a double pivot or Scott McTominay anywhere, but we will. No disrespect for you guys that love Scott McTominay. I'll tell you this with all due respect. I don't see what he brings except being very passionate. You know what? Put him in an adult film. Put him in an adult film. He's passionate. He's passionate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll take that back.
No, it's fine.
I'm sorry. You got to show me more than passion. But I think it'll be probably Scott.
Oh, my God.
Fred. It should be Donnie, but it won't. And by the way, guys, just for you guys to actually pay attention to stats and how people have played, Donnie Van de Beek has never been a traditional 10. So why all of a sudden we're shoehorning him there, I don't know. At Real Madrid, he wasn't coming in to play a 10, but that's where he'll play for us, and he's an Ajax guy, so he can play anywhere. So it'll be Donnie, and then the 3 up top. It'll be Tony down the middle because it needs to be. Oh my gosh, the man, the myth, the legend, Baby Giggs will probably play.
I like that.
And Juan Mata Garcia, the baddest man, if the baddest 30, probably 3-year-old, whatever man on the planet. Who, by the way, if I could get any player from anywhere in the world who should be in America playing, I'm about to walk down the street to DC United headquarters and tell them Juan Mata like now, because that guy would rip this MLS apart. Because he's still just saucy. He just don't have the legs anymore. But that's my team, and like I said, 8-0.
Oh my God! It's gonna be
I
cricket.
think
Let's watch
we'll
some
win
cricket, lads.
2-0.
Well, I mean, to be fair, 8-0 would fit in with the trend of United performances in the Champions League versus the Premier League. It would fit in.
It's possible. I'll tell you why I don't think it's possible is because any human being that's not completely dysfunctional in the brain can put on a tape and watch us play and realize that if you attack us, we will smash you. I don't care if your name is Bayern München. We will smash you. But if you sit back and say, here, guys, it's football. Have the ball. It's like
What this Bayern would talk.
like Tom said, the circus has come to town. Thank you, guys. I digress.
I don't understand why. I didn't understand why PSG or Leipzig played the way they did. I understand, you've got to have faith in the way you play, but I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand how we kept, especially last season, we kept getting away with playing these big teams and counter-attacking on them. I just thought surely one of these managers are gonna watch us play. At least even not even a whole game. They just have to watch half an hour. Just watch a highlights clip on YouTube. That's all I need to watch to say these guys only score goals from counter-attacking.
Plus, parked as Jose busted Old Trafford a few weeks ago.
Exactly.
Guys, I'll be honest with you. If every team in the world said, you know what, we're going to smash United, we're going to take it to them, we'd win the league. We'd win a lot. But the fact is they're not going to. So will we ever be able to break teams down? Only Tom will know.
Yeah, I hope we can. Yeah, that's the thing.
Owen's not going to agree with that, but
no, we'll get onto it in just a second. I'm going to read it.
No,
I'm going to read it. Sorry, Tom, I'm going to read a few of the comments before we open up that Pandora's box, that particular box of Owen's comments coming. Sifo, obviously an Arsenal fan. listen, mate, we've got past the Arsenal game. We're trying to forget about it. I don't.
Where were he last stream? That's all I'm going to say.
I was thinking
where
that.
were he after the Arsenal game?
I'll read out one of his comments. I'll read out one of his comments.
Don't even come after you, mate.
It's called mute, Kieran.
I should just do it. No, you know what?
3 days late.
He is 3 days late. He's like Hermes Parcels. He's about 3 days late. Listen, mate.
In fairness, Arsenal didn't impress me. They did what they were going to do.
Well, this is the thing. He's saying. I mean, I don't think you'll agree with this, but he's saying that Arsenal attacked us for 90 minutes.
Rubbish, what a load of crap.
Are you kidding me? What are you watching? They attacked us for 90 minutes.
What were you watching?
That's what he said.
What were you watching, bro?
I think we'll leave it there. We'll leave that one there for you,
Arsenal
Sifo.
attacked no one for 90 minutes. They didn't attack.
You've won
Dundalk for
You've
90
won
minutes.
one game in 14 years at Old
They
Trafford.
play
Come
three
on.
at the back. It turns to a
Well,
five.
actually, they beat us in the FA Cup back, I think, in 2017.
That's it. They had 2 shots on target, and one of them was a penalty.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
listen.
I don't
Can
think
I
De
say,
Gea had to do
Kieran,
anything.
Kieran, can I say something about the game on Sunday?
Yeah.
Because I don't
100%.
understand why people can't see this, and I don't want to be all coachy or anything. But where Arteta schooled Ole was that if you watch the game back in the first half, Arteta's a defensive coach right now because he has to be, okay? They did press us well, but they sit back to soak up and hit on the break. That's what they do. We do it better when we're allowed to, but they're good at that. Arteta took Aubameyang and Willian. Let me see if people can see my hands. There we go. And what he did is he pinched them in to occupy our fullbacks, right? When he did that, our fullbacks were paying attention to them. So then you had the outside players, Saka, who everyone acts like is the second coming of whatever. And he's a good player, but come on, he ain't that great. But he was getting space, and Bellerin, whatever that guy's wearing, want to be Jack Grealish. He was getting space. And so they were killing us tactically. And in fairness to Ole, I'll say this. For a minute, in the second half, he was trying to move to a 4-2-3-1. And people were trying to argue with me, we're still in the diamond. We're not in a diamond. Because if you looked, McTominay and Fred were side by side. Pogba went out left. Mason Greenwood came back to form a 3 with Fernandes right behind the striker. And we were trying. And in the first part of the second half, for a while, we got on top of the game. And then obviously later, they get a lucky pen because Paul Pogba did what he did. We should have had a pen because it was quite plainly a foul on Matic in the box by Gabriel, who probably shouldn't have been in the game anyway. He should have had two yellows.
He should have been sent off. I already said
Yeah,
that.
easy.
He should have been
But
sent
here's
off.
the thing, guys. We got beat. I'm not making excuses. We got beat. I'm not going to get on and cry with a bunch of pictures like, where's this pen? Pinchester United. And all this stuff everyone else does. Bunch of whiners. The fact is, don't come on here to a United channel talking a bunch of nonsense, acting like Arsenal were prime Barcelona when they came attacking us on Sunday, because that is not what happened. Listen, Arteta right now is just slightly better than Ole. If Arteta came to attack us, Ole would beat him too. The fact is, Arsenal, I feel like, are going in the right direction, but don't act like you don't have Glazers 2.0 as an ownership. The only matter of fact, Stan Kroenke is worse than the Glazers. I'm an American. I know these clowns. But I'll say this. But Arsenal got a director of football. And because of that, they're turning the corner. So I give you props. First time in 14 years you came. You sat back. Don't act like, oh, we came and slapped you. Go back to Arsenal Fan TV with that delusion and drink whatever else Ty is feeding you right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Listen, obviously, I always say, the 3 points is all that matters at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm sorry, Sifo, you can't get away with saying that. I couldn't believe. I was thinking he was trolling, saying they attacked us for 90 minutes.
But it worked. He's got me all upset. Ears all red and everything. And I'm not even white.
The funny thing as well is that even if Ole wouldn't have beaten, say, PSG or Leipzig, people, would he even still be here? That's all I'd say.
If he had beaten PSG if we'd gone out to PSG last season, would he be here? That's the question.
That game got him this job.
Exactly. So
Rio Ferdinand got him that job.
Rio Ferdinand, yeah. But I mean,
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's mad at how little things just change the course. I mean, because if Ole got sacked, I reckon we got Pochettino in. I reckon, and we'd be sitting here with Maurizio I don't know where we'd be. But
We'll be
I
in
was
a
gonna.
better position.
Well, I was going to
better
mention actually the
Where do you
fact that
guys feel about Ollie? I'm just curious. Not in like a nasty, derogatory Ollie out, Ollie in fight. But I'm just curious what people think about him.
Go on, Kieran. You go first.
No, I was going to move. I was going to ask Owen this because I know Owen's got some very interesting. I know he's come at me a lot in streams about my opinion. So I'll let him have to say. What is your thoughts on Ollie, Owen?
Okay, so my thoughts on Ollie. I need to calm myself down. I think he's a bit weak-minded, to be honest. I feel like he makes this.
Talking.
Hang on, is it my time to talk, Simon? You've had a time to talk. It's my time.
No, I just need to say something. That's all.
No, basically, I feel like he's a bit weak-minded in terms of like his decision-making is just completely off sometimes, and he almost makes decisions that the media push him into, or at least the media will come out and say, like, heap a load of pressure on someone, and he'll either deliberately start them the next game to make a point, or deliberately drop them to make a point the next game. But it's almost like half his decision. I personally don't think he runs the dressing room. He has like much control over it anymore, to be honest. And I feel like that's with like. I don't really, because I feel like there's more. I reckon once he gets sacked, hopefully, fingers crossed.
My God!
I knew that was coming.
Is that your Christmas present? Ellie?
I'll tell you what, mate. It's probably the only thing I'll be getting this year. So if Ollie gets sacked, I'll be happy.
No, you'll be getting a sponsor from McDonald's.
Who do we bring in instead?
Someone send me his postal, because I can't allow that to be his own.
It'd be good enough. It'd be good enough for me, I reckon. It'd be good enough for me. You sad man. I'll have his P45 framed under my tree at Christmas Eve. But no, I feel like I just feel like he doesn't run the dressing room. And if your manager has no control of the dressing room, what is the point of you being there? You're basically you're basically a substitute PE teacher. That's basically what you're.
Wait, I'm just going to ask. Going off a point that Sean said actually that I want to kind of put to you, Owen, is that. Do you think that realistically changing a manager without bringing in a director of football is going to change anything? Do you really think that if we take Solskjaer out and put Pochettino in and we don't bring in a director of football, that we'll get better results?
I'm going to start this off by reading you a Muhammad Ali quote.
Oh, God.
It says, I don't count my sit-ups. I don't count my sit-ups. I only start counting when it starts hurting because they're the only ones that count. And the reason I read that quote out, the reason I read that quote out is because we need to go. I think we need to go through a bit of pain before we go through.
We've been through 10 years of pain.
We haven't won the.
No, but what I'm saying,
the league in 7 years. We won the Champions League in 12. We get embarrassed by teams like Arsenal.
What I'm saying is. What I'm saying is, in terms of at the moment team selection, we aren't taking risks. We never take risks in terms of team selection. It's always we'll play McTominay and Fred in the midfield because they're not they're good. They come off with sweat on their heads after the game, so they've obviously played well. We're gonna bench arguably the most talented midfielder in world football. That's
who you talking about? Van der Beek?
No, Pogba. You know what I'm talking about.
Come on, man.
Tell me in world
You're
football.
You're a Pogba fanboy.
Tell me in world football who would do the same who would do the same job as him as well as he does. Please.
A coat rack.
Indulge me.
Van der Beek would do just as good, if not better than him.
For me, Pogba is irreplaceable in our team. For me,
no player is irreplaceable. Come on.
There's no one in the world who plays the same style as him. Who can ping the ball like he does. And,
oh my God!
There isn't.
Do you not see players like Kevin De Bruyne?
Yeah, but he's a different style of player.
Oh Jesus! What? Because he doesn't look like him. What is that it now? He doesn't wear the same clothes.
Pogba can play 6, 8, and 10. De Bruyne can only play 10, and he has to come off after 60 minutes.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Next, all I would say about Pogba, is that in some ways I can see where you're coming from in terms of he is a unique player. Like the way he's unique, but
He's
Yeah, but don't patronise him like that. Don't patronise him saying he's unique. Don't patronise him. He's more than just unique. I know you're getting at that. You're saying, oh, he's a unique player. I know you're getting that. I'm not having it, mate.
Yeah, unique
No.
because in shit.
No, that's exactly what I'm getting at.
I didn't say that, Dazza. Those weren't my words. I carefully didn't choose those words, Dazza.
I personally feel if he was in a different team where there was in a slower league where there's more space, especially like a Madrid. I just watched Madrid and Inter Milan, and even in Champions League, they get so much space the way their teams play. Paul Pogba would absolutely destroy Serie A in being in the Spanish league. But the problem is in England, not only do people like to kick you like crazy, but everything's so fast, so much high press. And I truly believe it, not to give the guy excuses. Outside of the one spell where he did have the free roll when Ole first came in, I haven't seen that. So I don't feel like we've ever truly given him the type of freedom that a player like him needs, and it needs stuff built around him. Seeing Paul constantly in a double pivot is 2 6s, beside McTerminator or whoever else you got to put beside the guy.
Oh God!
I think that Pogba. Well, like I agree with Owen when it comes to a lot of what Pogba can bring. I don't believe he's irreplaceable. The reason I don't believe that is because he was already being replaced in Madrid by Van de Beek, and they didn't end up buying him. So I truly believe that Paul needs a move. I think he needs it. I think we need it. People like me need it. I love him. He's my favorite player, but he's getting toxic to me, and I love the guy. So at the end of the day, I agree with Tom with this. He's 27. How much longer are we going to talk about potential? The guy there's no more potential. He's world class. Whether he shows it, he's inconsistent, but his talent and ability, like I said, when he puts on certain shirts, that's why he just reminds me of De Gea sometimes. I think it's sometimes up here. And also, I think sometimes we do hold him to a different standard. Because, for example, Sunday, the whole midfield was shocking. I mean, when I was driving home before I got the game on telly, I was listening to it. And I can't tell you how many times I heard Fernandez gives the ball away. Fernandez, bad pass. Fernandez, turnover again. Because he's constantly making stuff happen. But he's everyone's love child right now. So he can do no wrong. But at the end of the day, I think Pogba's just divisive. I think, honestly, for Paul Pogba not to leave, right? If this board's made promises to Ole and promises to him that they just don't do, which obviously they didn't do this summer, he's showing me that all he's about is the bag if he stays. Because he needs to go somewhere where he can truly win leagues in the Champions League. We're rebuilding right now. So he needs to leave.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's kind of like the Coutinho situation where it was at Liverpool. It was everybody's favourite player back there at Liverpool, but he always flirted with Barcelona, and then he ended up going. Like I said, the problem with Pogba is you need to settle down. If you're coming this close to a contract, it was like with Aubameyang. It's either you sign the contract or you go. It's as simple as that. You either want to be here or you don't. And the thing is, just to add on to what Sean said about Pogba is, we've had 2 managers now who's taken a role in trying to get Pogba to be, the best that he can be. We've had one of the best managers over the past 25 years in Jose Mourinho for what he's won. And he couldn't get the best out of him. And he was actually the manager that brought him back, so wanted him. And he didn't get the best out of him. And ultimately, Pogba was one of the main reasons why Mourinho got the sack in the end. Then you bring in his former youth coach when he was 16 years old. So Ole knows this player like the back of his hand, and vice versa. And now Ole can't get the best out. It's been 2 years now, and Ole can't get the best out of him. He had a good probably 2 or 3 months where we saw the Paul Pogba that we should be seeing now, but we're not seeing it anymore. This is the problem. We've even played him in the number 10 role, and he still shows glimpses of quality, but not consistently enough. Yeah. And that's the major problem. Consistency. I would sooner have 11 players in the squad that are consistent. Might not have to be the world's best players, but consistent, week in, week out. You know what you're going to expect from them, as opposed to having players that are going to have, a good game in 5 games. That's it. I want people that are going to be consistent. And we talk about consistency and stuff. But, if you sold Pogba, I wouldn't invest it in midfielders. I really wouldn't. Why do we need midfielders anymore? We don't need midfielders. Really, we didn't need to buy Van der Beek, if we're being honest.
Who's will play the holding role, Tom?
That's what I mean.
Good point.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Pogba
Please don't tell me you want McTominay carrying the ball from front to back.
If you
honestly.
do, I'm out.
I would sooner have
We'll just end it. We'll just end it.
I would sooner have Fredo McTominay anyway. No, but someone like a Wilfred Ndidi, go and get somebody like that to play that role. That's all you need to do. He's a
Thomas Partey.
He's a like for like. He's a slimmer version of Thomas Partey. That's all I'm saying. He's not as Ndidi is an amazing player.
Ndidi doesn't replace Pogba, does he?
No.
No. I'm saying reinvest the money. If you're going to reinvest the money in a midfielder, that's who you should reinvest it in a midfielder that actually plays a role that we need. If not, go and invest it in another. Go and buy a defender with the money, or split it 50-50. Go and buy a defender. Go and buy a midfielder. Just go and buy a different type of player to put. We don't need.
Or just don't sell our best player. I mean, that's a good idea. I reckon. Don't sell our best player.
Come on! Don't start with all this again. He's our best player. Yeah, on paper he's our best player, but on the pitch at the moment he's a million miles away from being the best player.
Well,
and I don't want to hear
yesterday in that game on Sunday, did we have a best player?
I believe one player actually had a decent game, and that's Lindelof. Lindelof had a decent game. That's the only player I can say had a decent game.
I mean, I would have given it to De Gea if he dived the right way for the penalty. Honestly, that's a bad one.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
What, if Dean Henderson's in there, he saves that, does he?
I'll tell you what, mate. He dives the right way. When does De Gea ever dive the right way for a penalty, by the way? I know that's not
weeks ago, but he was off the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, well... You know what I feel about that, honestly.
Yeah,
Tom is Ollie out too? Owen said it. He called him a PE teacher. I heard it.
He's not even a PE teacher, he's a substitute. He's a substitute. He's a temp. He's a temp, mate. He's a temp.
What is he? He's a assistant.
He's a substitute to Pogba. Pogba's the manager. He's a sub. He's a sub, mate.
It's like there's a new restaurant opening in Manchester called Mando's.
Yeah,
it's not even Nando's. It's Mando's, and that's Ollie.
Yeah.
Oh God.
If
you order lads, thanks for me on mate.
No worries, Daz, mate. Thanks for coming on. Have a good evening. I appreciate you coming on after Borough loss as well. That's got to take commitment.
They didn't lose. They just drew. Yeah.
Oh, they drew. I thought they lost. Oh well, that's not that bad then. Oh, fair.
Before he leaves, he's got to say Ollie in or out.
Hey.
So yeah, Daz, are you? Final question for you: Are you Solskjaer in or Solskjaer out at this moment in time?
In at the minute.
But do you think if the next few games could change your mind?
Next few games could determine it really. I mean, if
tomorrow determines it for me.
Hopefully by tomorrow he'll be working for Uber.
Decide it on tomorrow because I think people are underestimating them. So
especially Tom.
I just don't understand how you could beat PSG and Leipzig, but you can't beat Istanbul. That's all I'll say. If he didn't have those two results,
we are very inconsistent.
True.
Not only that, right? Istanbul, like the group we've got, PSG champions, Leipzig were top of the league, Istanbul champions. You cannot take any team in any competition lightly. Even if we were against, known United this season, we'd lose to a team like the Cambridge or someone worse.
Don't slate Cambridge, mate. Don't.
No, I'm not. But we'd lose.
No, it's alright, Dad.
Lose to a team down in League 2 or something because
yeah.
So inconsistent. So if we lose tomorrow, don't be surprised.
What if he gets sacked?
Useless.
I tell you what, if he gets sacked tomorrow, I'm cracking some cold ones open, man. We're having a party.
Some cold ones at McDonald's and cold ones. Let's chill.
Oh yeah. I won't have to choose which McFlurry I get. I'll just get both. I'll just get both Smiles and Oreo. I won't
You'll
even
just
get.
pour some beer in it and all.
You love to see the world burn, don't you? You love to see the world burn.
Obviously, there's a serious side to this, and I don't like seeing a guy lose his job, obviously. But at the
He's
same
made
time,
enough money, he won't be hurt.
Unless
at the same time, if you're telling me tomorrow that, I mean, you saw last night on Sky Sports, Pochettino's like a Bond villain. He knows what he's doing being on Sky Sports. He knows what he's doing.
Jose Mourinho did. He was on there for about 4 weeks.
Well, yeah. Then he got. I was thinking Pochettino's just there stroking a cat, going, "I've been expecting you, Mr. Solskjaer." Like he knows he's got the job. He knows he's got the job. So you know he's going to be in the job soon, hopefully.
He had the Madrid job. That's what a lot of people don't know. He was about to take over Madrid, and they, with fan upheaval, everyone went back in for bringing Zidane back. And I think that's what unsettled Pogba. I think if Zidane doesn't go back to Madrid, he already signed the contract that Tom was asking him to sign. I think his dream is not as much Madrid. I think he's obsessed with his hero, Zidane, which a lot of French kids his age are. So I think that plays a huge part in it.
Yeah, well, no, I think if, for Pogba's sake, if he does leave, and which, you know, would be a very bad day, if he does leave, then I hope it's to Madrid, and I hope he lifts that Champions League right in front of everyone.
Oh,
and,
he's not going to be lifting anything. Do you know what he'll be lifting?
He'll be lifting the World Cup again, will he?
Oh God!
Was that? Wait, can I hear man of the match performance in World Cup final?
Yeah, he was good in the man of the match. In the World Cup, he was
the Halloween party, but the bird he was lifting wasn't bad, you know.
What wasn't bad? that we can all agree on. I think that we can all agree on. but we've got a few people comment.
How do you like your bird? He says world class.
That's quality. I love this. We've got a few new people I haven't seen around here before. If you are new, please feel free to subscribe, and also make sure you check out Worldwide Red Show and Dazzle's Football Stand as well. Make sure you check those guys out as well. Great stuff on there. Archie Southgate, Gareth Southgate's brother, I imagine, says, "Cannot lie, Pogba is downright shit." I'm pretty sure most of the time.
This guy, what do you mean? He's not, though, is he?
You're attacking people again, Owen.
Yeah, but look what he just said. That's libel.
And I believe I stand by his comment.
I could take him to court for that. I reckon. I'd win.
Yeah, you said you were going to take Owen to court. Where is this letter? Where's the solicitor's letter? Where is it?
Downright shit. I mean, come on. He's not.
At the moment, he is.
I'd tell you what, the players who played in front of him, you could say that on Sunday. Scott McTominay.
Oh, good. How is he in front of him? Pogba's in front of him.
We got Miss Doubtfire in the midfield, and everyone's clapping.
Listen, he's got a new name. It's going to be called Dirk McPassion.
Brazzers.com. Naveen, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. He says Van der Beek, Bruno, and Pogba should all start together. That would be a fire midfield. I'm not going to lie. The balance isn't really there.
And play Matic in the holding. That is the diamond that you need.
Absolutely.
If you're going to play a diamond, that's the diamond you need to play. Matic is the holding player. And then you can play Pogba and Van der Beek equally in line with each other in midfield, and then play Fernandes just in front of them.
United Alex here, thanks for joining. He says, shouldn't have played McTominay on the right side of a diamond with Fred holding. I think we can all agree on that. I think that was...
He looked like he was playing
McTominay shouldn't have been in the lineup.
And I think, as we've been talking about, Solskjaer is very stubborn. He likes McTominay. He's got his favourites.
But guys, Pogba's the problem, remember? Yeah.
You're gonna bang this Pogba drum, aren't you?
I didn't say that, Owen.
And by the way, just quickly, Owen, Archie wants you to apologise for verbally abusing him. Basically, because he made a valid point.
Wait, how is that? No, it wasn't a valid point, or was it?
But it was a point. Let's just agree, right? It was a
point in terms of he managed to spell it. He managed to spell it correctly, so it's a point. It counts as a point, I guess.
So apologise then.
I didn't say anything untoward. I just said I didn't agree with it.
No, you went in a lot more deeper than that. Come on.
But he's not downright shit.
No, trust me. Do it for the fate of the channel. He says he's not going to subscribe unless you apologise. Now, if
for the fate of Kieran's channel and for another subscriber, Archie, I'm not going to apologise. Sorry, mate.
Cheers.
Right.
No, I'm joking. I'll apologise, but he's not shit. He's not shit.
You played that wrong. It's I will apologize when you apologize for the vileness you spit toward Pogba. This is how it works.
Exactly. You come in here slandering what I would consider our most talented player, and you get what you get.
Talent again at 27. Talent.
Okay, well, if he only had hard work, we'd be complaining, saying he runs about a bit. So which one do you want?
I would sooner him run about a bit and actually do something than, in one game he's talented, the next game, he's ghosted. You might as well say he's not even on the field.
Okay, well, he's got the best. He's got the best long ball I've seen since Paul Scholes. So
Oh God! Don't talk about long balls now. We're going back to playing Jose football.
I'd say what Ollie likes to play, didn't he? When the shit hits the fan with Ollie, he starts playing long balls.
Oh God!
My mic's just come out. That's the problem. So if you hear my mic is a bit crap, then I apologise.
Yeah, it sounds like you're coming from a cave somewhere.
Right, I've just changed it back.
I'll tell you what, someone who will play tomorrow, I reckon, he should play, is Cavani. I reckon he'll score, he'll bag.
Okay, good. That's a good little segue. That's a good segue. I like that. Okay, yeah, Cavani. What do you reckon on Cavani? All right, yeah. What do you reckon?
You know, I've spoken quite a lot. I'll let others speak.
Oh, Cavani. I've been saying for the past couple of games, he needs to really play. What do you expect him to do? Coming off the bench, 10 minutes to go, and we're losing a game. Or we're playing against a team who just want to sit back. What can he actually do? Seriously. All he can do is attack free kicks and corners. That's all he can do. Because people can say he hasn't got the legs or anything. To be honest, I think, to say he's 33, he can still run. I saw him running after that ball, going out towards the left-hand side against Arsenal. He looks actually quite sharp and quick, to be honest. And he could have won us the game against Chelsea if Thiago Silva wouldn't have been there. He could have easily won that game. He's played an influence when he has come off the bench. And the thing is, off of the ball, he's probably been a good player. He is a very good player off of the ball because he's big, he's fearsome, and you've got to handle him. And if you've got another player like Rashford, who is completely opposite to Cavani, who's got the speed, who's got the edge, who can easily just make you look silly and just run past you, then it's a match made in heaven because you've got two players who are absolutely different and who can play two different roles. And how are they going to handle two different players? They're not. It's like Martial and Rashford are kind of a similar sort of player. Apart from, I think Rashford's more quicker than Martial, and Martial's technically more gifted than Rashford in terms of that aspect. But, like you just said earlier on in the show, I think we've been missing, Martial and everything. I think the system that we play, if we play the diamond, suits Martial better because he's got a strike partner. Whereas if we play like Rashford out left and we play Martial up front, he's pretty much sitting up there on his own. That's it. And it's like when we brought Cavani off the bench, he's just feeding off of scraps. It's like against Arsenal. What did Rashford... Rashford did not have a chance to even score that game. And he's been the hottest player in form for us, easily. I don't want to hear Pogba's world-class and everything. Right now, Marcus Rashford is probably world-class. The best player for us at the moment right now. 100%. That's why he won, the best player at Manchester United month award. That's why he won the player of the month award at Man United.
Who else would like to win that award?
It should have been Pastor Fred.
Should have been Pastor.
That's a shout.
Yeah, Fred, like I say, players like Fred, 1 week they turn up, next week you don't even know that they're there. This is the problem. We've got too many players that are inconsistent. But the thing is, in terms of consistency, I think that does come down to the manager. If I'm being honest, it comes down because he's got to motivate you. He's got to send you out there with the right instructions and the right ideas. And ultimately, those three things that I've just said all come from the manager and stem from the manager. And it's a case of, if the manager doesn't get it right, you're going to lose at this. If Ollie went to Istanbul tomorrow night and he goes and sends a team out there and just says, right, go and do what you want, we'll probably draw or lose. He's got to still use tactics. I know we're playing against, players like Demba Ba and who should be in a retirement home. But I'm seriously going to laugh my head off if we lose tomorrow. And it'll be absolutely funny if somebody like a Martin Skirtle or a Raphael comes to bite us back in the arse. It'll be absolutely hilarious.
Raphael will score an own goal.
Hilarious.
He loves United too much. He'll score an own goal. He'll
score an own goal.
he loves United too much. Have you seen him on like Twitter every game? He watches our games more than his own game, his own team. Istanbul.
Well, I'm not being funny. Who wants to watch the Turkish league? Let's be fair. Come on.
Well, I'm not saying anything just in case any of our Turkish viewers are watching.
My notorious Turkish viewers. Yeah, I've got a really big reach out in Turkey, as you know. But Sean, what were your thoughts on what Tom said there? Would you agree? Would you say Cavani should be starting, or do you think that because we have Anthony Martial coming back into the team, do you think that's going to mean that Solskjaer will look to keep Cavani back? Or do you think this is the time to give Cavani his first start?
I think that he's going to play it, Tony. As far as Cavani, I agree with what Tom said, but to be honest with you, I'm still bitter. I'm still bitter that we signed the guy. Not just that, because, at the end of the day, he was a free signing, had by, that wasn't planned. But it was the middle finger of the 7 shirt that they gave him. And people say, oh, you crying about a shirt. It's not that. It's the board that thinks they can just do whatever they want and that all of us will just lie down and take it. Like, should we get a young, brazen, possibly future Ballon d'Or type player in Jadon Sancho, who the manager wants? No, we have no intention of buying him. We could get him if we wanted, but we're not going to. I'll tell you what we'll do. Okay, we're not going to get what we need, but we're going to get a 33-year-old striker who hasn't been playing, scored all 4 goals last year, try to spoon-feed us that he's the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic, when Zlatan scored like almost 40 goals before he came to us. And by the way, when Zlatan was here, listen, the streets don't forget. He played well, but there was plenty of times Burnley was playing a high line against us because he was too slow to get behind anyone. We forget that. But here's the thing. Cavani has a lot to offer, but I feel like Ole, in some ways, I feel like Ole has done a good job with Tony. There's been times where I feel like Tony's overall play as a 9 has gotten better, which it should, because if Ole should be able to teach anything, it's a striker how to score goals. However, I just feel like I think that Cavani should be given an opportunity. I think this is a perfect game for it. Ollie's too predictable. So he's going to put Tony in, unless we went with 2 at the top and somehow he did Tony in, Cavani, which who knows, sometimes Ollie outthinks himself when it comes to this stuff and tries to be clever. And so ultimately, I think that Cavani, I agree with Tom. I don't think he's as unfit as people say because he looked like he was running pretty good the other day. I just think that I hate that people were acting like we were getting prime Cavani. It's because too many people play FIFA, and this is the problem. Too many people play FIFA, and too many people make their opinions off of YouTube clips. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I could put a YouTube clip together of Phil Jones that will make you think he's dunking bag on Edwards. The fact is, I'm still bitter about the whole way that it went down. And so if Cavani comes on and starts banging, then I'll be like, sure, that was great. But I'll still be, why couldn't he be in a different number? It's just the whole idea of it's like they were shoving it down our throat that they know what they're doing when they obviously don't. Because signing Ahmad Traore, Diallo, whatever name he's going to go by, unproven 18-year-old who doesn't even always get a game in a slow league like Serie A, and they want to act like he's the next Messi, better than Sancho. And people argue with me on football Twitter. When Thomas Partey, I don't know if you guys saw his pre-match interview, I believe it was on Sky, he might as well have been twerking. He was like, I've always dreamed of playing here. Man, if we were in for him, we would have got him. 40 million, don't have to keep Matic as a backup when you need him. This guy turned El Nini Let's say that again. El Nini into frickin' Javi Hernandez. It was ridiculous. One guy bossed 4 as a holding player. And I love Pogba, but Thomas Partey made him look silly on Sunday. And I'm just saying that. Could you imagine Thomas Partey? People cry about Pogba and Bruno in the same midfield, Pogba, Van de Beek in the same midfield. If we had Thomas Partey, we could play that. We could play 4-3-3 because the guy just protects the back four. He's a shield. And so at the end of the day, without the right players and buying the right positions, I just feel like the whole idea of Cavani was just a throw together. Let's get a big name to appease people that we're not buying what we need. Again, if he scores 30 goals, I'll do a backflip and say I was wrong or whatever. But I just, should he play? Yes. Will he? He will. And he'll come on. When does Ole usually make a sub? Probably about the 73rd minute to the 83rd minute. Unless he's planned it, because sometimes I feel like all of his subs are planned as well now because he's taking the criticism on that he doesn't make subs when he should. So it's like 60 minutes, here you go. Why do you always have to wait 60 minutes in a game like Sunday when you and how in the world does McTominay stay on the whole game? Take off
that is a mystery.
You need a goal, and you keep on McPassion.
Unreal.
Yeah, that is a mystery. That I think that's just going to go unsolved. That's just going to be up in the air.
There is a way to solve it, and it's pack his bags back to Oslo.
Right. I can't believe we got back to that.
Is Oslo in Norway?
I thought you were talking about McTominay. I thought you were sending McTominay. I thought you were sending Scott to Norway. I'm like, hold on. I thought he was Scottish.
Just send him there, just like not even his own country. Just send him there. Just say, listen, it's like Norway's basically Scotland. Just send him there.
On this, because I just need someone before we go. And again, thanks for letting me be on. It was nice to finally be on with Owen as well.
Yeah,
can I just say, I just need somebody. If you can't do it in the stream because it takes you a little while to think it through, maybe leave a comment on the video later. Please explain to me what Scott McTominay really does. Like why is he a consistent starter for the biggest club in the world? And please tell me what other midfield in the top 6, because I'm going to be generous, not say the top 14, would he be a starter? Because I just need people to educate me, because I am American, you could tell by my voice. And over here they say soccer, which somehow is offensive, and so that means I don't know anything about football, when soccer is actually a British word about a British game created by British people in a London rugby school. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. Americans didn't invent the word. And why is it that you guys say, these guys get in the comments about calcio? Like, calcio ain't even the same sport, and that's all cool because it's Italian. But I say soccer, and y'all want to have a throwdown. So since I'm a dumb American, please explain to me the value of and we're going to knight him, Sir McTominay. Sir Scottish of McTominay. Please, I need that.
So Scott McTominay a second. Yeah, if you can help Sean out with his query, then please do feel free to do so in the live chat. I'm sure there'll be someone out there, hopefully, or even the comments. But yeah, as I said, as of right now, it's a mystery that is still unsolved and will continue to be unsolved until Solskjaer, as Owen says, maybe it'll be solved when Solskjaer's being dragged out the door in belt and braces, and he's just. I mean, I feel like.
To be fair, you added the belt and braces. I'll just give him a taxi home.
Oh yeah, of course you would. Yeah. No, don't act like this now. You were talking about cracking open the cold ones and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, who knows? Ollie might watch this. You never know. You might watch this.
Yeah, well, Ollie, if you're watching, don't play McTominay.
Actually, I hope he doesn't. Some of the tactics you come out with, mate. I hope he doesn't.
I sometimes wonder why I have you on here. I sometimes wonder.
And then you look at your view count and you go, yeah, that's why you have me on.
Just for Tom. Tom couldn't survive without Owen being on here. Tom.
Matthew, we've got a comment from Matthew. He says, McTominay runs around. What else do you want? I'm pretty sure that must be
Oh,
sarcastic.
it's sarcasm. It's sarcasm.
No, it's passion.
That's all you need in football. I mean, look at
Like
Thierry
I
Henry.
said, we're not shooting. Oh no, man. We're not shooting skin flicks, okay? We're playing the beautiful game. I know
True.
some of that's the beautiful game, the beautiful bedroom game, but that's not what we're playing. And I'm not trying to disrespect anyone's channels or their views, so let's keep it PG. So we'll just, but I'm just saying that's where you need the most passion, not between the lines, man.
I see that. And Archie here says, I feel like I'm getting older because I don't understand what LOKL means. I need to look that up on the Urban Dictionary. But he says,
I don't think that means anything. I think he just misspelt it.
I don't know what he's trying to say there, but
isn't this the guy that was threatening to unsubscribe for like libel or something?
Oh yeah, no, he wanted Owen to apologise. So Owen, mate, we've still got like a few more minutes if you want to apologise.
Not particularly. I mean, I thought.
Okay, we'll move on.
I thought I told him that if he comes back to me and says, Pogba isn't shit, then I'll apologise.
It doesn't sound like he's going to be doing that. So we'll leave that there. We'll leave that up in the air. And a few more comments before I just get you, because we are going to round this off soon. But I'll just get a few more comments in. As I say, if you want to answer Sean's query before we end, please do feel free to do so.
But the uneducated people watching, when it comes to that word, they do understand that soccer is not an American word, right? I mean, I say football for the people that want to cry about it. My wife's back in Spanish, so they say football, and that's where it comes from. But the word, when the game was invented, it was named soccer. Americans didn't create that. So for all these people that know the game, they should at least know the history. All right, so just to make it a little bit clearer for those that don't read very well.
I'm not probably most people. Archie says he doesn't care. He doesn't care. So there we go. Thank you, Archie. At least you're fair. At least you're honest. But I mean, I would recommend picking up some books sometime. They can be useful. Patrick, thanks for joining 20 Sports. Patrick, I haven't seen you for ages, man. As I said, long time no see. Great to see you again, my friend. Hope you're doing well. He says you've been busy with WFH. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure it's good. I'm sure you're enjoying it.
You never know. You might just endorse that, and you don't even know what that is. That could be some really sus company that you just endorse because you don't know what it is.
Well, listen, I'll subscribe. I'm newer to the whole YouTube situation anyway. So any of you guys watching, if you have a channel, put it in the comments. I'll subscribe. I mean, if it's dodgy, I just won't try to support what you're doing.
And make sure, I mean, you must have enjoyed what Sean and Owen have been, and everyone else as well. I hope you enjoyed the whole stream if you've been watching. Make sure you do check out Worldwide Red Show and all the other channels that I've been on. And Patrick even comes to your aid here. He says it's just a word. What he means by it is what's important. So there you go. It's just a word. Patrick says soccer's just a word, doesn't matter. And you know what, I agree with that. Power to the people. That's what I say. I always say, power to the people.
I don't use the word. I'm just trying to listen. I'm in a fight in America, guys. You don't understand how. You guys have it good, right? This game is exploding in our nation, but there's a huge portion of the nation that literally views football as a girl's sport. That's how it's in America by most guys. So. That's why our women dominate everyone, because it's mostly what girls play here. So when you have guys, it's like, and we're going around saying football, especially when you have American football, I get slammed on each side. If I slip up and say soccer, the rest of the world is having a meltdown. And then in America, when they find out I coach and my kids are really good, they're like, what? You play a girls game? So it's it is what it is, man. I'm used to it. I'm a big boy. I won't cry. I won't throw my toys out the pram. I can handle it.
Hey, whenever you're on this channel, you can say whatever you want. Don't worry about that. Sifo says actually it's called okay, Sifo. Listen. He says it's actually called Arteta Ball. Listen, Arteta. Listen. First of all, I rate it that you've been going at this for an hour and 44 minutes. You've been going at this Arsenal thing for an hour. I rate it.
Yeah, I got time for it.
But listen. All I'm going to say is you're giving it all this now, but trust me, when we go to the Emirates, if we beat you, You better not show up, man. You better show up with padding, because we are coming for you. Trust me. After you said all this, trust me. If we beat you at the Emirates, it's over. It's over for you. But thanks for joining anyway. Appreciate it. But yeah, final thoughts. Going into this, go on, Owen. What do you say?
No, I was just mumbling about Sifo, to be honest. I've just seen his comment and he just read out, and yeah, and I just think his parents should take his internet away. Honestly, like, what's he doing? Like, Arteta ball. It's going to be so satisfying when they have to shout Arteta out at their own legend. It's going to be so satisfying. Because they hounded Wenger, and arguably, like, if Wenger had the same director of football as Arteta, he'd be doing better than Arteta, I think. I don't know. Like, they got Wenger out, and now they call him Papa Wenger. Like, mate, you just shout him out. You shout him out. You can't go back now. You can't. It's like if we went, Ferguson out, and he got sacked. We can't be saying, what a guy, because we got him sacked. So, like, they need to be quiet about all this Papa Wenger stuff, because it's like, they hound him out of his job. But yeah, I feel like
to be fair, Sifo's made a point. He says, like how you're cracking cold ones open for your legend getting sacked.
Yeah, but I'll admit that. Though. I said that with my chest. You're coming out saying it's our terrible. you're coming out saying it's terrible, and you're going to come out in a few weeks' time when Arsenal get beat by Sheffield United or whoever they're playing, because they only turn up against United. Whenever Arsenal go away from home and have one shot on target next game, and you're crying, don't come crying to me, because I'll be laughing. I'll be sat here laughing at all the Arsenal fans wanting Arteta out, the Lego-haired man.
In fairness, they're the same as us. This is why they give us problems, and this is what the young fellow in the comments doesn't want to admit. The fact is, they struggle with being consistent, and they lose against smaller teams. And here's the thing: you can't win the league playing like we do and like Arsenal does. That's why they lose to the Brightons. That's why they lose to the Burnleys, because that's why they can come to United and play more defensive and give us the ball and win. The fact is, you can't do that against everyone. So when they go, for example, to City, or when they go to Liverpool, they give them trouble because of how they play. And they say, and I've already heard Arsenal fans, I've already heard them crying about how defensive they are. That's fine. It works. But when you judge Arteta, is it another year or so when they start really winning, and now they have to come out and play against a team like us, or they have to go to City to try to win instead of sitting back. And you lose the excuses of, we don't have the players, we don't have the squad, we don't have this, we don't have that. Well, eventually you're going to get it, and when you have it, then you'll see what Arteta brings. Right now, he's Ole 2.0. So I don't even think he's better at it. I just think that, he does something similar to what we've seen. They didn't show me anything on Sunday. If they were good, they should have beat us. We were terrible. And it took a Paul Pogba kicking someone in a dumb tackle to give them a win that I think they deserve. But if the game was called fairly, we'd have got a penalty too. Because you cannot watch what Gabriel did to Matic and say that's not a pen. It's a pen 100 times out of 100. But, of course, we're Manchester United, and because we got so many last year, we're not getting them this year.
Yeah.
We'll get them against the smaller teams, but against teams that's there about us or over, we won't get those calls. And that's just because, the FA is not corrupt or anything.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I think what I would say to Sifo, just the last thing on Arsenal really for me, is that you're very early into this. You're still in the early part of the cycle.
You're still at the wheel.
Exactly, you're still in the early cycle of the legend comes back to the club and does well. You haven't hit the iceberg yet, my friend.
You ain't done your MOT. You haven't done your MOT, mate. And when you do your MOT and realise the bumper's gone, the headlights don't work, the wheels are all done, then you're gonna come back to this channel and you're gonna apologise with a grovelling. I'm sorry, I was right. Please take me back.
Yeah, don't apologize. Back your team, man. Talk your crap, bro. We got time for it. Listen, don't back down. Keep talking it. We're big boys. We can handle it.
I love it. Yeah, 100%. Listen, mate, and we appreciate you joining the stream, even if you're not a United fan, any fans at all. Even if you're a Liverpool fan. I mean, if you're a Liverpool fan, we'll give you a bit more heat, to be fair. But that just goes it. That's just how it goes.
On that stream, Kieran.
I'll try and get as many rival fans as possible and just go, right, we're just gonna have a debate and just have a debate for like 2 hours. Yeah. No, just listen. I'm thankful for anyone who comes and has their opinion at the end of the day. So yeah, fair play, Sifo. But as I said, you're still early in this. We were all in the honeymoon period. We were beating PSG. We'd won 10 games out of 11. You know, we were in the honeymoon period, and then all of a sudden, it came crashing down to earth. At that point, you've got to make a choice. So we'll be waiting there.
Ollie, though.
I think actually in that game, I think you make a brilliant point, which is if they came at us, if they didn't park the bus, if they were a better side in terms of their reputation and they felt they had to come at us, I think we would have destroyed them on the counter attack. We would have absolutely destroyed them. So I don't think they're any better than us. I agree. I agree with that.
Honestly.
And so did Lampard. Lampard did the same thing when Chelsea came to town a few weeks ago. Did the exact same thing, and we couldn't score past them. But that's a problem for us as well. And Archie says he supports Liverpool. Well, Archie,
okay, I gotta go. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Kieran. Let's see Owen. Hope America doesn't burn tonight. I'm gonna leave it there.
It's good that you mentioned that at the end of the stream, Archie. I'm not gonna lie, but no, thanks for joining, Archie. Appreciate it. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there.
I knew that when Archie was coming at Pogba, I knew there was something off.
Hey, to be fair, Tom was going at Pogba pretty hard, but he's a Mancunian, born and bred Mancunian, mate. But listen, we'll see what happens with Pogba. It's loads of talking points. As Patrick said, all these opinions are changing game by game. More talking points for the media. But as we all know, Manchester United would be in the media even if there wasn't any talking points. At any time of the day or night, you can look on Google and you'll find a Manchester United story that has been updated at least an hour. At least. I mean, we're round the clock. We're one of the biggest clubs in world football. But I don't know how I got onto that. But we'll finish on that because it's a positive note. Thanks, Sean, for coming on Worldwide Red Show. Really appreciate it. Make sure you do check him out if you haven't already. And thanks, Big Owen, for coming on as usual, giving your pearls of wisdom, as some people say. Some people say. And also thanks to Dazza as well. Dazza's Football Stand. Make sure you check out his channel as well. And Tom, of course. And also Footy Talk as well for making his debut. And I think he's got a channel as well. So if you want to check that out, make sure you do. Sifo, mate, I can't. You're still going on about this. I'm not even gonna read that out. Sifo. I can't. It's just gonna trigger me.
I feel like Sifo should make a channel, and then we'll come on his stream.
We invite him on. The channel. He didn't want to come on, Sifo. Listen, Sifo, you're always welcome on. If you want to come on and give your views another time, feel free to do so. But anyway, no, seriously, thank you everyone for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you after the game. Hopefully with 3 points in the bag, 9 points in the group, and all but certainly qualifying for the knockout stages. Hopefully. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a bit.
Yeah.